Today we're into Dark Dragonstorm Standard to try to turn some things that really weren't supposed to be tokens into tokens, and it leads to some hilarious situations. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and today we're heading to Dark Dragonstorm to turn some things that really shouldn't be tokens into tokens, and this deck is incredibly cool. So let's talk about our Jeskai token deck, and I gotta say, Jeskai tokens really doesn't do this deck justice. When I hear Jeskai tokens, I think like the Jeskai Convoke deck or something that's making all these 1/1s and attacking you. This deck is way jankier and way more spectacular than that. And maybe doubly so, if we can get an Elspeth Stormslayer down. So let's talk about our Jeskai Tokens deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see the plan in action. So I gotta say, I love Jeskai and Tarkir Dragonstorm because it has one of the most unique themes that we have seen in a long time, which is being able to turn anything into tokens. So we have 3 different cards that can do this. The big one, Shiko Paragon of the Way, our 5 mana 4/5 Spirit Dragon with Flying and Vigilance. When it enters, we can exile a non-land card with mana value 3 or less from our graveyard. We copy it, and we can cast the copy without paying its mana cost. But if that thing's a permanent, the copy is going to be a token. Same with Flamehold Grappler, a 3-drop that when it enters, lets us copy the next thing we cast. If that thing's a permanent, we get a token copy of it. Or Taigam Master Opportunist, we cast our 2nd spell each turn. We copy it, which will be a token copy if it's a permanent. The original goes to exile, we get it in a few turns. So why am I so hyped about these cards? They can turn anything into a token. And the answer is, they do absurd things with a couple of enchantments in Standard, with the best being 3 Blind Mice. So 3 Blind Mice is this Saga from Wilds of Eldraine. Its first lore counter makes a 1/1 mouse token, whatever, gives us a bunch of blockers, eventually attackers. The big deal is its 2nd and 3rd lore counters create a token that's a copy of target token you control. So 3 Blind Mice is not supposed to be a token, it's a non-token permanent. But if we can use Shiko or Flamehold Grappler or Taigam to turn it into a token, things get really wild because those 2nd and 3rd lore counters can copy itself. So if we can get 1 token 3 Blind Mice, the next turn we get 2, and then they're gonna each copy each other the next turn, and we'll have 4, and then 8, and then 16, and it just snowballs ridiculously. Why we're making a bunch of mice tokens and eventually pumping our team to win the game with the 4th lore counter. So that's the main plan of the deck. We also have Caretaker's Talent, which is also pretty cool if we can turn it into a token. Its first level just draws us a card as we make tokens, which is great. The 2nd level creates a token that's a copy of target token we control. So if we get a token Caretaker's Talent, we can pay 1 mana to copy itself, which will draw us more cards, and then pay a mana to copy itself, which will draw another card. And eventually we have like 5 Caretaker's Talent, and every token for the first time each turn is going to draw us a ton of cards. So that's the main plan of the deck, trying to use Shiko and Flamehold Grappler and Taigam to turn 3 Blind Mice or Caretaker's Talent into tokens and snowball hilariously and win the game. It gets even better if we have Elspeth Stormslayer, and I gotta say, Elspeth, the more I play with this card, the more busted I think this card is. So it's in our deck because it doubles our tokens, which is really hilarious. Once we get going, we just make so many 3 Blind Mice, so many Caretaker's Talents, but it's also just a really good card. Its +1 makes a couple 1/1s to come up the board, and then its 0 ability is one of our easiest ways to close out the game. We just make a bunch of tokens eventually, and then put a counter on everything, send it to the air, swing and kill our opponent in 1 or 2 big attacks. So that's the core of the deck. We also have a bunch of ways to get cards in the graveyard for Shiko. So Fear Missing Out, Kiora, Glacial Dragon Hunt. Let us discard our 3 Blind Mice or whatever, so Shiko can get the token copy of it. Novice Inspector, just a 1-drop that makes a token. Get Lost for some more removal. Mana Beast, pretty straightforward. Felt important to 3-color Mana Beast. Little bit risky, but it's so good in the deck, it's worth it. In the sideboard, a bunch of removal for aggro and artifacts and enchantments. Wiltly Fleet for discard. Ghost Vacuum for graveyards. Negate for control. New Way Forward. I don't think the card's very good, but I really want to get someone with it. So I don't know what matchup it's for, but at some point, I really want to make someone lose the game to New Way Forward. So we'll have to see how it works out, but I really want to test it out. And that is Jeskai Tokens for Standard. And that's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see just how many 3 Blind Mice we can make with Shiko and Flamehold Grappler in Elspeth in Standard. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. It is token time. Oh, I've been waiting to play this deck. Oh man, Shiko's such a cool card, and it can do, ooh, there's a Shiko, and it can do such cool things. Hopefully we get to show some of them off. We're gonna keep this. This hand looks fine. Couple removal spells, Shiko. At least we're not gonna die quick, hopefully, thanks to our removal, and a Fountain Port. Good old 3-color mana base with a bunch of Fountain Ports. Welcome to Tarkir Dragonstorm Standard. So the goal of this deck, we want to get a Caretaker's Talent or a 3-blind mice in the graveyard, Shiko it back, and then it can copy itself a bunch of times. We can also do this with Taigam or like Flameblade Adept. What's the... Still getting used to all these new card names. The 3-drop. Well, let's get down the Novice Inspector. Flamehold Grappler, that was the other one. Plus, we got Elspeth, and if we get Elspeth added to that mix, it gets Wild Domain. All right, buckle up. It might be a long one. Opponent's going to analyze the pollen to snag a basic. The Get Lost are good against beans, at least. Grabs a Swamp. Well, I mean, I guess we're playing a land. Getting in for one and probably cracking this clue. Next turn, we can start Fountain Porting. Shiko, we really need to get some stuff in the graveyard first. Well, let's crack the clue. See what we can see. Like, ooh, all right, well, there's a Flamehold Grappler. And there's a 3-blind. Okay, so now our plan might be to get to 6 mana, and then we can Flamehold Grappler the 3-blind mice. We'll see, unless we can find a way to discard it. We have a lot of ways to discard it. We just don't currently have one of them. All right, they're going to smite the Novice Inspector. Well, let's just Fountain Port, and I think we're going to wait. This 3-blind mice gets a lot better if we get one more land for this Flamehold Grappler. That's kind of the backup plan, but it still works. Grappler is such a cool card. I think that one of my favorite parts of Tarkir Dragonstorm is the Jeskai theme of things that can make copies of permanents. It's just such a cool theme that we haven't ever really seen before. We've had a couple of random, like, not very good one-off cards that do it, and some Commander Precon cards, but we've never really had a theme of, like, I will turn your stuff into tokens is an actual theme of a set in Standard, and it's just super unique, and it does really, really, really spicy things. See what our opponent's doing. They're thinking about something. Land Cavern on Avatar. Doing a little passing. Well, let's make a fish. So one thing about 3-blind mice, if you have to play 3-blind mice fairly, its first mode makes a 1/1. The next 2 modes copy a token, so there's a lot of value to having an extra token or 2 on the battlefield for the 3-blind mice, because if our opponent kills the token it makes, the next 2 modes don't do anything if we don't have another token. So Fountain Port or like the fish is very, very helpful there. Non-creature tokens also work if we make a clue or whatever. All right, opponent. Well, next turn we have the lands, so we get to do the 3-blind mice thing. The question will be, does our opponent know what we're doing? And do they have a Leyline Binding or something similar to answer it? If not, a token copy of 3-blind mice will win us the game eventually. It will. You will see. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Sooner or later, it will win us the game. Also, because all of these shenanigans are so new, the odds of our opponent not knowing what we're doing goes up a bit. Opponent, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Well, I mean, if they got a Leyline Binding, it is going to cost 1. Well, opponent passes. We will keep on fishing. Russian Fishing 3, greatest video game of all time. Actually, I've never played Russian Fishing 3, but there was, oh man, it was so funny. This was a while ago, but they did like a, I can't remember if it was a Pro Tour or an MPL event. It was during the top 5 esport era of Magic, but they did this big tournament and we got beat out by some guy playing Russian Fishing 3 on Twitch, had more views. So we're the game that lost to Russian Fishing 3. Flamehold Grappler. Well, let's do the thing. Let's see if our opponent knows what's up here. Wow, they're gonna bind it. Okay, that is lovely. Sure, you may kill the Grappler. We don't really care about that anyway. What we care about is this token 3-blind mice. So we get a token copy of the next thing we cast, which is going to be 3-blind mice. So we get the real one. We get the token one. They each make 1/1s, and here comes the tokens. Now imagine if we had an Elspeth out while we were doing this. Imagine if we had an Elspeth. So what our opponent needs to do to get out of this is they need to answer the token version of 3-blind mice. If they answer the token version of 3-blind mice this turn, they can stop the loop. Once we start making more copies, then you need, I don't know, like an Enchantment Wrath or something. All right, they're going to Zur it. I mean, this is going to get wild because our opponent can Zur, turn on the Overlord, turn on the Leyline Binding. They're going to be getting, what, 6, 5, 11 a turn? We can chump block forever with our 1/1s, so we're not in danger of immediately dying. And we can kill the Zur next turn, but our opponent's going to gain a huge chunk of life here. Getting in with enchantments, thanks to Zur, making it everywhere. Well, there's always more mice. That's one thing I've learned. Not only in Magic, but in real life. Once you get a mouse, there's always more mice. All right, well, it's safe to do the thing. So, 3 blind mice. We'll copy a 3 blind mice and a 3 blind mice. The new 3 blind mices will make some more tokens. We are going to kill the Zur. I think we play the Kiora. See if we can get something into the graveyard for Shiko. All right, well, discard the Glacial Dragonfire, discard a FOMO. And yeah, I mean, we're just gonna kill the Zur while our opponent's tapped out. They still get their big enchantments, but they no longer have lifelink, which is good. And now we're up to 4 3 blind mice. Next turn, we should be up to 8. It just keeps snowballing. And then if we get Elspeth or Caretaker's talent going, oh my god, we draw the cards. We make even more 3 blind mice. With Elspeth, we get more 3 blind mice, and we get more mice tokens. Ooh, analyze the pollen. All right, opponent gets to real tutor this time. What are we looking for, Zur? Is it just Zur again? All right, more Zurs, sure. I kind of find with Zur, I'd be more scared of something with flying. Well, I mean, Zur has flying, but it's only 1 power. If they had, like, I don't even know, Overlord of the Mistmores, would that be scarier? Maybe a little bit. I guess they want protection on their Leyline Binding, which also makes sense. Thankfully, we have another Get Lost, so we can just kill the Zur opponent. I'm gonna map up the Leyline Binding. Even, boy, they might have more Zurs than we have Get Lost here. All right, yeah, opponent. They're gonna gain so much life. Well, I think infinite 3 blind mice eventually beats our opponent gaining an absurd amount of life each turn, but it's gonna take a minute. Oh, silly Zur. Yeah, we stay at 18. The good news is we're gonna make some mice. Oh, all right, maybe we just keep drawing Get Lost. Our opponent can keep drawing Zurs. We will keep drawing ways to kill Zurs. Why we also will 3 blind mice, our 3 blind mice, our 3 blind mice, our 3 blind mice, and make some mice. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh, this is all I want to do. This is all I want to do with my life. I guess we can actually Shiko a Get Lost too at some point. Well, let's Get Lost. Get rid of the Zur. We know another one's coming, but our opponent left it on top, so I guess they assumed this one was gonna die. Oh, see how they run. See how they run. Na, 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 na. I'm tempted to Get Lost in Leyline Binding, but I guess we should save it for Zur. Like, they can only have 1 more Zur in their deck, so I guess we hope they draw it and we kill it. Opponent, gonna crack the Leyline Binding, or crack the map on the Leyline Binding. What do we find? Zur Overlords, Surveillant, and gonna crack the map on the Leyline Binding for even more Surveillance. Well, let's Portico. Opponent going to do a little surveilling, get rid of another land. And opponent replays the Zur. Yeah, Zur number 3. I mean, the thing is, at this point, there's not even much point. We're just going to kill the Zur again. There's not even much of a way they can deal with the 3 blind mice. Like, even if they draw Leyline Binding or something, there's so many of them now. I don't know how they actually win the battle. Like, they can win the battle over one of them, but I guess they can't win the war over the mice. No one beats the mice. The mouses. About it. Passes. We draw more Kioras. Well, let's copy some. Good thing we have this 3 blind mice going, because we are not drawing lands. Yeah, let's copy our 3 blind mice a few times. I believe we're up to 16 3 blind mice, and at some point the ones we have on the battlefield are going to start hitting that last lore counter to pump our team and give it vigilance. All right, there's 1, there's 2. So now we have a bunch of vigilance 3/3. So I guess once we get going, we actually deal a lot of damage. Opponent from 34 down to 14, and then what do we do? Let's FOMO, discard the Kiora. Play the land. I guess we just pass. I mean, we might win with this Shiko in hand. The best Shikos. Oh, come on now. Biza. I mean, Biza doesn't kill us or anything, but it is. Oh, they don't even. Wow, we're still lower life. I thought they were going to gain more life. Wait, do we just win now? I think we just win now. I think we. I think we've 3 blind mice him. All it took was 16 3 blind mice to beat Domain. Well, we'll do a little jump in. We'll take the 5 down to 8. About it. Oh, we're gonna crack the map. Gotta crack that map. Gotta get that value. Well, we'll make a fish. I think we win. Ooh, Day of Judgment. Okay, I hope we win here. Although, really, Day of Judgment doesn't stop the 3 blind mice multiplication. All right, well, let's do this a bit. Make it 3 blind mice, and a 3 blind mice, and maybe a 3 blind mice, and how about another 3 blind mice, and even more 3 blind mice. I think we're up to 16. Flamehold Grappler. This all came from a single Flamehold Grappler and a single 3 blind mice. That's all it was. And all of this, with our opponent having a Zur and gaining 11 a turn and an activated Leyline Binding, none of it matters. Pump the crew. Well, now I guess we'll just Shiko, flashback removal for the blocker, or one of the blockers. And this has got to be lethal, right? I haven't actually counted, but I imagine this has got to be lethal. We can Glacial Dragonfire too, I guess. Tap down the Shiko, get rid of another blocker. This all might be very unnecessary. We have a lot of mice. Some of them are summoning sick though. But that's like almost 30 mice. Well, get in, hit ya. This has got to be enough, right? This has got to be enough. Opponent, would you like to block a mouse? Now you're gonna block Kiora and die. Oh, that was way more than enough. I don't think we actually need to kill anything. Yeah, we still got there. We got there. What do we want sideboard wise? The negates seem good. Maybe some more enchantment removal? Huh. Yeah, Clem the Glacial Dragonfires. Around like that. All right, on to game number 2. How many 3 blind mice will it take to win this time? We are on the draw. Domain versus Jeskai Shiko. Apparently 3 blind mice tokens. About it. Yeah, we got him. We actually did it. Off to a good start with Jeskai tokens. And there it is. Well, game 1 was pretty sweet, and game 2, I guess, was also kind of sweet. It is Jeskai tokens time, seeing just how many 3 blind mice, or Caretaker's talents, we can make with Shiko and friends in Standard, and, well, okay. We got Caretaker's talent and 3 blind mice. No way to turn them into tokens yet, but, I mean, we got to find a fine curve, I will say. Opponent to Orzhov. All right. Interesting. Well, let's planes and get down the Novice Inspector. So what is our opponent's deck? Oh, God. Okay. Some sort of life gain or bat deck. Lifecrafter duo. All right, so that's a expensive Flying Soul Sister. Well, Fear Missing Out is actually a great draw because, Caretaker's talent. Yeah, Caretaker's in the talent in the graveyard for Shiko. So Caretaker's talent kind of does the same thing as 3 blind mice, except it draws a ton of cards instead of making a ton of mice. Dow to draw a card, gain some life, and a Case of the Eaten Feast. It's us down to 19. Well, let's, I guess, play Kiora. Probably discard, actually, we might discard the 3 blind mice too. We'll see what we draw. I'll discard the 3 blind mice. We got to keep the land. Yeah, let's discard the FOMO. So I think what we can do is next turn we can play a Caretaker's talent. Maybe copy the clue, draw a card. And then the following turn, Hinterland Sanctifier. Our opponent is kind of Soul Sisters at the moment. Back up to 21. So much life. Why are we playing at so much life gain? Our Overlord's opponent also gains so much life. All right, we'll take it down to 16. Ooh, Novice Inspector is actually kind of good. That's actually better than activating the Caretaker's talent, I think. We can just play Novice Inspector, make a clue, draw a card. Land? Untapped? All right, land that's tapped. Well, get in there. Was kind of hoping for untapped for Shiko, because I feel like if we get this 3 blind mice going, with the Caretaker's talent, wow. All right, opponent. Scoops it up. For some reason. Well, easy breezy. I guess we bring in the split ups. Probably the Torch the Towers. I don't know. Is our opponent just bats? Soul Sisters? All we saw was random life gain dorks. Like that was basically it. All they did was play these like random 1 and 2 drops to gain life, and that was the game. Yeah, bring more removal around like that. All right, on to game number 2. Some sort of mighty life gain deck against our ambitious token deck. All right. Foundport, I feel like is a necessary evil in this deck. It's so good with Elspeth and Caretaker's talent. It is also very costly in our mana base. Our 3-color mana is already kind of janky, and add in a colorless land, it gets even jankier. Well, let's do a little dragon hunting. Get rid of this Soul Sister effect. Yeah, discard a 3 blind mice in case we manage to find a Shiko eventually. About it. Lifecrafter doing number 2. And the Plains hits us down to 17. Well, let's play the land, and I guess we just do a little more dragon hunting. Wow, even more dragon hunting. All right. 3 blind mice is a card that I really don't like playing fairly very much. If it's not a token, it's pretty mid. Once it's a token, it's insane. It's like insanely strong. But if you just play it fairly, especially without having other tokens on the battlefield, a lot of times it's make a 1/1, your opponent kills it, and then it just does nothing for 3 mana. So there is a reason we don't normally see 3 blind mice everywhere, but it's so good with Shiko. Well, I mean, we're going to play the Surveil land. I don't think we're activating... Well, all right. Keep milling. So many 3 blind mice Tron in the graveyard now. I don't think we're activating Fountainport this turn anyway. Fear of missing out. Opponent going to crack a clue. Probably just discard the dragon fire. And find another land. Okay. Case of Uneaten Feast and Essence Channeler. That is kind of a scary one. And a Healer's Hulk. It is so hilarious to me that Healer's Hawk has been in Standard twice, and it is kind of seen play both. It was even better the first time it was in Standard. It was actually like a legit 1-drop in one of the best decks in Standard. But it's so funny that this 1-mana 1/1 lifelink flyer, like, somehow people always find a way to play it. Yeah, all right, kill that Essence Channeler. You get a couple counters, I assume on the Hawk, but we have another removal spell, so we can also kill the Hulk. Yeah, I think we have to. Then we're out of removal. Yeah, it's just kind of awkward. Now we're out of removal. And our hand is full of uselessness. I mean, Fountainport's good, but we'd rather have... What we really need is a Shiko. We need a Shiko, and we need a Shiko soon. Bonnet. Gonna crack a map. Mill and Novice Inspector. There is a downside to get lost. Like, the maps, they do hurt. They do. It does not make it a bad card by any means. It's still great, but our opponent's getting a lot of value out of these maps that we were so nice to give them. Actually, I think they have more counters now than if we just left the counters on the on the Hawk. All right, so they want their Novice Inspector to die. I guess they have this Case of Uneaten Feast, which is eventually gonna let them cast it from the graveyard. Is that their plan? Get lost. So we can get lost a Case of Uneaten Feast if that was the goal. Well, I mean, get in hit you, I guess. We might actually have to get lost this Helpful Hunter. 4 a turn is adding up, don't it? We can also make a fish in block, but... yeah, I think we're just gonna kill it. Kill the cat. Give you some maps. Well, opponent plays a land and passing. Well, let's make a fish. All right, Torch the Tower is pretty good. I mean, I feel like we're kind of in good shape now. We have a ton of removal spells chilling in the graveyard. We got a Torch the Tower that can deal with an Essence Channeler. Oh. I take it back. I take it all back. We are in horrible shape. That's a Raise the Past. Well, now we know. They weren't trying to play towards a Case of Uneaten Feast. They actually just have Raise the Past. Well, we can snipe that Essence Channeler before it gets massive, but I don't know how we get out of this one. Yes, it's a lot of random dorky creatures, which I guess is good, but our opponent's going to gain a ton of life. They're going to get a clue. They're going to draw a card. And Yeah, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, 58, yeah. It might take us a few turns to kill our opponent now. That's a lot of fish attacks. I'm just saying, that is a lot of attacks with a fish to get through 58 life. Okay, that's also a land. It is awkward that Glacial Dragonfire needs to discard a non-land to deal damage, so if we try to play as a removal spell, there's actually no guarantee that we actually get a removal spell out of it. I think we survive this turn by blocking, right? Technically. So we block. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, we're going to like 2 or 1 or something, but I don't think we're dead literally on board here. Although they have a lot of, yeah, I mean, I don't know how we win. I guess we need to draw a Wrath. The problem is our Wrath, I don't even know if our Wrath does it, because our Wrath would be split up. And I'm not sure if split up actually, honestly, really beats what our opponent's doing here. I'm not convinced, because I think part of their creatures are going to be untapped. Split Skindal, but that's still got to be our best draw, I think, to have any shot. We'll see how this goes. I mean, our opponent's kind of popping off here. Well, now we know what they're up to. In game 1, they look like Soul Sisters. They're actually a graveyard deck, a Raise a Pass deck, that is also pretty Soul Sistery. But this means we should be bringing Ghost Vacuums. Vacuum up the ghost of some... The ghost of some hawks and bunnies and cats, apparently. They're kind of a zoo, a petting zoo. Let's, I guess, block everything we can. So, yeah, I mean, we don't die here, I don't believe. We can sack some tokens to draw some cards, since we're going to die anyway. I don't think we die here, but I'm not sure we have a draw that gets us out of this. Caretaker's Talent, great card, not going to save us here. Well, let's sack another fish. Well, there's a split up. If we draw a second split up, then we can build a real Wrath. Although even that doesn't really matter because they have Case of an Eaten Feast. So we're dead, right? If we split up, they get 3 creatures. We can split up Flashback Removal Spell. That would require tapping Fear of Missing Out. Yeah, let's see what we draw into. I think we're just dead. They just have too many bodies. Plus, like I said, they still have the Case. Oh, there's the Shiko, but a little late. They still have the Case, so even if we kill everything, they just replay it all from their graveyard the next turn. And Ghost Vacuums. Save us. You're our only hope. Okay, let's draw a Ghost Vacuum. Because I feel like our opponent's creatures are not that strong. Their creatures are actually pretty bad. It's a lot of 1 mana 1/2s, 2 mana 1/2s. We can deal with the creatures, that's fine. But if they can get them all back at once, they will beat us, as we saw there. So I think the Ghost Vacuums are exactly what we want. Hopefully we draw one of them early. Yeah, I guess we just trim a bit. More like that. All right, on to game number 3. We are on the play. Well, show us a Ghost Vacuum. Ooh. Lordy. That is 2 Ghost Vacuums. Okay, the magic gods have smiled upon their children. Novice Inspector, go. Well, this means we just gotta beat our opponent playing things fairly. And I think we can do that. We even got some removal in hand, and eventually we'll find our Shiko and do our cool thing. Hit you with Inspector. Pass the turn. Oh, about it. Oh, getting that graveyard set up. At some point, we do want to play the Ghost Vacuums because of duress, I guess. But let's crack the clue draw card. Opponent gets a Hinterland Sanctifier. Gonna gain some life. So we can kill... Yeah, I guess we kill the Sanctifier. Probably discard. Yeah, all right. Definitely discard. Second Glacial Dragonfire. Glacial Dragonfire... I feel like it's been slightly worse than I thought, but it's still very good, if that makes sense. The needing to discard a non-land thing sometimes leads to some painful choices, but it's still a on-curve removal. Ooh, Essence Channeler. On-curve removal spell that also lets us fill our graveyard, which is really good in this deck. Opponent, Essence Channeler, gonna gain some life, and Novice Inspector gains some life. Well, we're gonna have to beat a big Novice Inspector, I guess. Kill the Essence Channeler. And then it puts the counters on the Novice, and I mean, we do have to kill it, right? Well, let's play the second Ghost Vacuum. Play the Surveil Land. Fear of Missing Out. I mean, also worth mentioning that eventually Eventually we get to crack the ghost vacuums, which actually might be kind of hilarious. Since our opponent's filling their graveyard, we might actually have some pretty juicy ghost vacuums in a few turns. Ghost vacuum's such a cool card. I love that card. It is a cool essence channeler again. Okay, awkward. I mean, there is a world if we don't hit removal where our opponent could just snowball an essence channeler. That is a very snowbally card. Opponent gonna crack the map. Amelia Bedelia. Horizontal land gets in. Well, let's keep on exiling. Snipe the Lifecrafters duo. Snipe the essence channeler. Yeah, I mean, we'll take our beats. There's the fear missing out. I'll play the land. I think we need to Glacial Dragonfire. Ugh. Yeah, see, this is one of those situations where we really don't want to discard the fear of missing out, but we don't really have a choice if we want the removal. So, I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world. That is a big Novice Inspector, though. Not the end of the world since eventually we can Ghost Vacuum it. Well, here's the Amelia Bedelia. Opponent gonna gain some life, get to do something. So they're okay. So this is actually, it reminds me of the Pioneer deck before it was banned. You don't get the infinite combo, but it reminds me of kind of the Amelia combo deck in Pioneer, but like the standard version of it with the Raise the Pass being the main combo. Ooh, okay, Sunscape Cleric. These Ghost Vacuums are keeping us alive, but we are gonna need some more removal. Right now we have not much. Okay. Opponent gets in. Hits us for 5. I mean, we can start cracking Ghost Vacuums. Now we actually got to think about what we want to exile under each one. So I think we want Essence Channel under this one, since that's all the life gain stuff. This can snipe the FOMO. We drop to 11. Caretaker's Talent. So we can just sack a Ghost Vacuum to make a bunch of bodies. Let's just get rid of this Cleric, I think. We'll discard the Caretaker's Talent. Eventually we'll draw a Shiko, right? Or we should eventually draw a Shiko. Yeah, the Cleric is pretty scary. That can deal a lot of direct damage. So if we kill that, it gives us another body in the graveyard. We shouldn't die this turn, I don't think. Novice Inspector. Even if they have removal, I think they're just short of killing us. And then hopefully this Ghost Vacuum. Another duo. Our opponent's kind of incentivized. Helpful Hunter. Ooh, gonna draw the duo. Kind of incentivized to not mill their creatures now because if they know about the Ghost Vacuums. Well, all right, opponent. Helpful Hunter. Draws a card. Into the Lifecrafter duo. Gains more life. Man, if they had a removal spell and like one more mana, they actually could have killed us this turn. Well, I mean, we're definitely going to chump. And, yeah, I mean, keep on vacuuming up some ghosts. So get this Starscape Cleric. We might be able to do, like, our opponent's synergy. But with our deck, maybe. Let's snipe the Novice Inspector. The problem with the Starscape Cleric is it can't block. And I think we need blocking. Ooh, split up. Oh, we can split up the two big ones? Play a Novice Inspector. We know they're drawing a Lifecrafter duo, which doesn't beat us. So I think this is safe, actually. All right, yep. And this makes even better Ghost Vacuum. So get rid of the Melia. Get rid of the big Novice Inspector. Play another Novice Inspector. Well, this ended up being a very interesting game. Game 1, we kind of ran away with it. Game 2, our opponent kind of ran away with it. This game has been very interesting. Opponent cracking the glue. Also good to see someone playing a brew. Shout out to our opponent. Ice Drum, maybe? Something like that. For doing something different in standard. Our opponent, Lifecrafter Zoo, will gain some life up to 29. Our opponent's life gain doesn't really matter to us. Because if we do our thing, it's going to beat them. Well, all right. Let's crack the clue draw card. I think we may have finally reached... Yeah, that's a land. We might have finally reached the Ghost Vacuum turn. Take the Amelia. Ghost Vacuum 2. Take the Novice Inspector. And, all right. Well, let's sack this Ghost Vacuum and see what happens. Down to 5, but we're going to get a pretty big board. So, Novice Inspector, 2 Soul Warden effects, Meld the Glacial Dragonfire, Amalia, and a Essence Channeler. Flamehold Grappler, yeah, I guess. I mean, we're basically digging for Shiko. We want a Shiko. We would, ooh, all right, temporary lockdown, not a Shiko. If we find a Shiko, we can even get back to temporary lockdown. Split up, very good, not a Shiko. Plus, I think we might be winning on board now. Caretaker's Talent, oh, tempting, also not a Shiko. Hell, there's a land. What was this big string of non-lands? Dragonfire to the graveyard. And FOMO to the graveyard. Well, that was a good, man, Ghost Vacuum's so good. Ghost Vacuum kept us alive, and now it just made this board out of nowhere. And now we're back up to 13. Stormscape Cleric with baby. Do we die here? Was this actually going to be close? So that triggers both of them. Oh my god, down to 11. Are we dead? Triggers down to 9. Triggers down to 7. Triggers. Oh my. 5. Do we live at 1? I think we live at 1. 3 and 1. Wow. But now we do it back to them. Wow. And our opponent scoops it up. Wow, that was close. I might have to build Soul Sisters. That Starscape Cleric kill. Yeah, I mean, that was not just because we won, but that was actually a very interesting match. So our opponent stacked up enough Soul Warden effects that they almost just killed us from 13 with a single Starscape Cleric. But then we would have done the same thing back to them with their Starscape Cleric, and they wouldn't have been able to get back in it. What a game. What a match. Very good match. Well, sweet. All right. Little awkward that we don't have any red mana. But that is the price of playing Fountain Port. It's gonna happen sometimes. We just gotta trust the Magic gods that they will reward us with some sort of red source. Opponent has a red source. Elspeth, good card. We haven't seen much Elspeth yet, but I think Elspeth's kind of busted. Sadly, we can't really do much this turn. Or literally anything. So, land go, I guess. Opponent. Mountain. So jealous. Ooh, Corey Steelcutter. Okay. I think Corey Steelcutter is good. I haven't really seen many people. I haven't built around it yet, and I haven't seen many people play it. So I'm actually interested to see how good this equipment actually looks. And okay, just passing. Maybe we should have mulliganed this one. It's possible that mulliganing should have been involved. Opponent land and second Corey Steelcutter. Oh god, you got a second spell? That's kind of bad for us. Burst Lightning our face. Trigger them both. Down to 18, and our opponent gets 2 hasty 2/2 prowesses. I don't really want to get lost a monk token, but we might have to at some point. All right, opponent hits us at 14 passes. Caretaker's Talent. Well, oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're playing it. The only other option is get lost a monk token, which feels horrible. So I guess we just Caretaker's Talent and see what happens. Monstrous, oh, dirty monstrous rage player, okay. And I thought you were doing something cool over there. Actually, the Corey Steelcutter stuff is still pretty cool, but it does involve monstrous rage. This town, wait, this is all the things I hate mashed together with a cool new card. This town ain't big enough to pick up the Corey Steelcutter, replay the Corey Steelcutter. My god, are we dead? Are we literally dead? We're literally dead. My goodness. Well, we didn't put up much resistance that game because of our mana situation, but that was impressive. Good lord. Okay, maybe Corey Steelcutter is kind of busted. I hadn't really thought through how you trigger it one turn, your tokens get haste, you get in, you hit your opponent, then you trigger it again the next turn, and you do it again, get haste on the new token. It's actually incredibly aggressive. Things that can answer artifacts, I guess. Negates technically get the job done, and hope for the best. All right, on to game number 2. We get to be on the play, which is good, and our mana situation cannot be worse. All right, this is functional. This is functional. We can deal with this. So I'm curious. So last game, our opponent's deck looked busted with the Corey Steelcutter. I'm curious what it looks like if you don't have Corey Steelcutter. Like, do you have a functional plan when you don't draw it? Because it seems built around Corey Steelcutter. So what happens in the games when you don't have it? Is it still impressive? Then we might have to build a Corey Steelcutter deck, because that was kind of wild. Well, mill the Fountain Port. Opponent land and Monastery Swift Spear. Well, play the land and pass the turn. We can kill the Swift Spear, especially if they start throwing pump spells around. Swift Spear part 2. All right. Well, if they're not going to cast a pump spell, we'll just wait. And then end step. Oh, really? Shore up. Okay. All right. That's not ideal. Well, let's, I guess, get down to 3 blind mice. Get a blocker. Hooray, opponent. Stock up. Okay, well, at least they're not going crazy aggro this turn. We would prefer not to block with the mouse because we really want to make a copy of it. So we're probably taking our beats here. Down to 13. Well, copy the mouse. Let's play the Surveil land. Yeah, mill the land. I don't even really want to discard anything. I guess we just, might have played this wrong. It might have been, I think it might have been better to FOMO away the 3 blind mice and try to set up Shiko. Opponent, combat, gets in. Well, I mean, we're going to block one of them. Soak up a little damage. If they have Monstrous Rage, okay, well, we can kill the thing that they rage. Oh, jeez. Well, I guess they have a reasonable plan for not having Corey Steelcutter, because I'm pretty sure we're dead through double removal spells and multiple blockers. Let's do it. Well, that hand has a lot of lands, but we can loot one away with the FOMO if we need to. Bulgaria. Well, let's play the Elegant Parlor, and we're going to keep the Shiko. Ooh. We might be able to set up the thing. The thing with the Shiko and the enchantment in the graveyard. It looks weird to discard a 3 blind mice when we have 4 lands in hand and we want more action. But I think we do it to set up our Shiko. Oh, even more lands. I mean, we have the Shiko in hand. We have the Shiko in hand. Found it. Gonna tear us under the FOMO. Certainly. Rather have them hit the FOMO than the 3 blind mice. And Overlord of the Hauntwoods. All right, so some sort of Saltai Beans, maybe? Kyora's a good draw. That lets us get rid of some of these extra lands, even though we mostly drew more lands. Well, we're getting them out of the way. At least I'd rather be flooded than screwed in this deck. All right, opponent, what do we got? Glarb. It's Glarbin time. Okay, opponent. Glarb's a virgin to play. Haven't seen many Glarbs, but it lets our opponent play big things off the top of their deck and lands. Oh, that's an Elspeth. This might be the game where we get to see Elspeth do Elspeth things. I would like to kill this Glarb. If our opponent blocks, we can Glacial Dragonfire. Would really love to draw a non-land because I don't really want to discard either of our 5 drops. Glacial Dragon Hunt. Okay, Taigam. Cool card, but going to be discarded. Let's snipe the Glarb. Play the Seachrome goes. Pass the turn. And, okay, Sentinel of the Nameless City, sure. I think it might be Elspeth time. I think we play the Elspeth first. And then we'll have it on the battlefield once we start doing the 3 blind mice stuff. That's the full combo. Now we draw even more lands. I mean, could they be playing a random counter? Yes. Can we do anything about that? No. So Elspeth Storm Slow when it resolves. Okay, well, let's make 2 1/1s. And now if we get to do the Shiko thing next turn, oh boy, things are about to get wild. Opponent gets in with the Sentinel. Well, we'll do a little blocking. So maybe our opponent's not a bean stack? I don't know what our opponent is. Salty of some kind, but Glarb is not a card that I've seen much of since it was printed. Opponent finds a Surveil land. I'm gonna play the Surveil land, do a little surveilling of yet another land. All right, well, we gotta do the thing. So do we take up Elspeth first? Do we care about killing things? Let's just Shiko. See what happens. Shiko. Okay, Shiko resolves. we will get the 3 blind mice in token form. Oddly, because of a weird quirk of the rules with how things are created, we're not going to get 2 3 blind mice with Elspeth. Not this time. We will next turn, assuming it sticks. But we do get 2 mice instead of 1. Yeah, let's just take up and make even more 1/1s. All right, opponent's going to kill the Shiko. That's fine. Shiko has done its job. The question is, can they kill the 3 blind mice? Because if they can't kill the 3 blind mice, things are going to get pretty spectacular pretty quick. Yeah, I don't know the actual rule. I just know that for some reason, when you create a copy of a permanent that enters in tokens form, it doesn't trigger Doubling Season, doesn't trigger Anointed Procession, doesn't trigger Elspeth. Intuitively, I feel like it should, but for whatever reason, according to the rules, that's not what we're expounding. Gets it. At the Elspeth, well, I mean, we kind of want to keep this Elspeth around because double tokens is pretty sweet. The question is, can they kill the 3 blind mice? That is the question. I'm actually nervous enough about this that I almost don't know if we target the 3 blind mice with the 3 blind mice this turn. We draw a Fountain Port. Yeah, let's do it. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, okay, they do. It's a cut down for a mouse. That's perfectly fine. Well, that's 2 more 3 blind mice thanks to Elspeth and 4 more mice. And land and yeah, I mean, keep making those 1/1s. Our opponent said oops. What did they oops? Did they have a way to interact with it? If our opponent had a way to kill it and didn't realize it. Yeah, because at this point you can't really stop it. Like, you can stop it with a sweeper, like a cease desist or something. Like, something that blows up all enchantments, but it is going to be really hard for our opponent to get out of this with target removal. And we just chump block and keep making more tokens, and then eventually Elspeth 0 and just win, I think. Elspeth's looked amazing here. Elspeth's so good. It's so good. Yes, we would like to keep our Elspeth around. And opponent, sure, that's fine. Opponent gonna crack the map. I don't think they can stop it. Well, this turn's gonna be even better. Well, opponent gonna pass. Excuse me. We will make a Fountain Port token. And ooh, another Shiko. Another Shiko, sweet. Well, 3 blind mice. Copy the 3 blind mice. Copy the 3 blind mice. And I think we copy the 3 blind mice. Each one comes twice thanks to Elspeth, and 2 mice thanks to Elspeth. We don't have anything great to Shiko, really. I mean, that's a big board. Do we start? We might start zeroing Elspeth here. Do we have enough? We don't win, but I'll play the land. Yeah, I think we're gonna start dealing some damage. Counter on everything, flying until the next turn. Also worth mentioning with Elspeth, it just keeps getting better. Your team gets flying until your next turn, which is actually very relevant on defense against some decks. Like, we can give our fish flying to block dragons and so forth. Well, here comes my opponent. Yeah. Targeted removal is not going to save you in this scenario. Kills a mouse. Takes 14. And, I mean, our opponent they need a Wrath. They need a Wrath, and they need the Wrath now because it's a lot of 3 blind mice. Opponent plays the land. What's that last card? We will never know because our opponent scoops it up, and that went super well. Man, Elspeth's so sweet. Maybe we want more Elspeths. Maybe 2 Elspeths is actually not enough. We haven't seen much that Glacial Dragonfire can kill. Destroy Evil seems reasonable. Yeah, maybe we go down 1 3 blind mice. What can we actually kill with Glacial Dragonfire? So it is worth keeping in mind, part of the purpose of Glacial Dragonfire is to give us a way to discard our 3 blind mice and Caretaker's Talents for Shiko. So we don't usually want to kill all of them, but if we're in a matchup where they don't really kill anything, I think cutting them is still worth it. We still have like Fear missing out. We still have Kiora, so we make it work eventually. This hand seems fine. Well, let's do some surveilling. Spire Bluff, yeah, that's fine. We're good with hitting our land drops for the time being. Opponent, a little verging. And, ooh, Duress, okay. Well, I imagine, it's kind of funny with this deck. Like, yes, they took our Caretaker's Talent. Yes, we would have liked to play the Caretaker's Talent. But at the same time, we kind of don't mind having it in the graveyard because then we can Shiko it. Well, speak of the dragon. Well, let's, I guess, Kiora. Do a little drawing, do a little discarding. Ew, there's a negate. Oh, do we got to discard the Grappler? Probably. Grappler and get lost? That's a lot of good cards. Can we discard a land? I really want to Shiko the Caretaker's Talent. Yeah, we're going to keep the lands. Discarding the Grappler is fine. I really don't like discarding a Get Lost, but I'm not sure what else we do here. Discarding a land would be an option. It just feels so greedy. Opponent, Glarb, and a land. Well, we probably could have discarded a land then, I guess. Huh. Well, let's Get Lost the Glarb. Get that out of here. And play the land, get in, hit you. So we still have a negate up if they have a busted non-creature spell. Well, Sentinels of the Nameless City. Neither busted or a non-creature. It is a good 3-drop, though. Opponent, gonna crack the map. Finds themselves a Surveil land. And, I mean, this means we get to do the thing with Caretaker's Talent. If it actually, we'll see. They gotta have answers, especially since it's game 2. They gotta have answers, but we can just Shiko the Caretaker's Talent. The only bad news is we don't have enough mana to activate it. It would be even better at 6 mana, but our opponent's tapped out. I think we gotta do it. Caretaker's Talent, token form. Draw a card. And pass the turn. So now with Caretaker's Talent, we can just pay 1 to copy it. Pay 1 to copy. Wow, fade from history, okay. Our opponent came prepared. They actually have a enchantment sweeper. All right, well, we got it out of their hand. And I do like that we have 2 negates. I feel like the 2 negates at some point are going to be irrelevant to us winning this game. Ooh, do we mill it? We have nothing in the graveyard that's Shikoable or good with Shiko. Yeah, I think we mill it. I think we mill it in trust that we find another Shiko at some point. Overlord of the Bailmerk. Full price Overlord of the Bailmerk. Does some milling. Gonna get back a Glarb. These negates are not stopping all these. Oh my god, that's a Shiko. So we can Shiko and leave up negate mana? Okay, that's what we want. That's what we want. That is what we want. All right, let's Shiko. I guess we can attack first. Oh, I'm kind of an idiot. Shiko has vigilance, doesn't it? Yeah, I guess we could have attacked last turn. We will Shiko. We'll get a 3 blind mice. I mean, this is what really matters. Now we have the combo. 3 blind mice in token form. No Elspeth yet, but we do have a negate to protect it. All right, opponent. What are we doing? Dressing. Oh, okay. Well, this lets our opponent know about the negates, but we can't really do anything about it. And Malicious Eclipse. Yeah, sure, I guess. I don't think we want to, I mean, basically, my belief is this 3 blind mice will win us the game. So we really only want to spend our negate on things that are going to stop 3 blind mice from winning us the game. Opponent mills with the Overlord of the Bailmerk. Gets back a Mosswood Red Knight. Hits us down to 17. We could stop drawing lands. That would be fine. That would be, except we have kind of drawn a ton of lands this game. Well, Shiko, now that we realize that Shiko has vigilance, might as well get in there and hit you. It's a new card. It's a new card. Give me a couple weeks and I will remember that, I promise. Well, no promises, but hopefully, found it, Mosswood Red Knight. Gonna draw a card. Down to 8. I mean, our opponent's on a clock. Ren. Spicy. So our opponent's just like Sultai mid-range, I guess. It's just like, there's good Sultai cards. I don't see any beans. I think it's a non-bean stack, even though there's an Overlord. I guess Overlord's so good. It's funny because our opponent doesn't even really seem like a ramp deck to me. And Overlord is just good enough that you still want to play it. Well, 3 blind mice. Copy the 3 blind mice and copy the 3 blind mice, which I think gives us the actual 3 blind mice. We've done what the card wants us to do, which is make 3 blind mice. Let's discard a land. Ooh, exercise is not bad. I think we get rid of this Overlord of the Bailmerk, which, well, it is generating a lot of value. We could hold it for Sheoldred. Well, we're gonna get in with the Shiko for sure. So the Sheoldred's gonna trigger anyway, right? The Sheoldred triggers anyway on our draw step. Yeah, let's get rid of the Overlord of the Bailmerk. Our opponent just putting a creature in their hand every turn from the graveyard is not great for us. There's a Sheoldred. I mean, we have lethal next turn. Our opponent's at 4, we have a 4-drop flyer, so our opponent has to do something. This will put our opponent up to 5? So we're one short. Actually, but we have a 3 blind mice that's gonna ultimate next turn, right? Mosswood Dread Knight. I think we have it. I'm pretty sure opponent gonna get in with a friend, maybe or not. I think the 3 blind mice does it. We got the Caretaker Assailant too. So we get drained down to 10. Copy the 3 blind mice. Copy the 3 blind mice. But I think the original one ultimates this turn, right? So mouse, pump. Shiko up to 5 plus, I guess this doesn't even matter because we have the fear missing out. So we can attack with Shiko twice anyway. Not that we need to. Well, get in. Hit ya. And we got him. And, well, that is the power of 3 blind mice in Shiko in tokens. Not bad. Not bad. It is Jeskai Shiko token time. And, no red mana, but we're at 6, so I think we got to keep this. Put the grappler to the bottom. Well, let's see. See what our dear opponent's up to. Novice Inspector. You. Oh, God. Is it? Are we getting aggroed? Are we getting aggroed, opponent? Well, let's play the land. Get in with the Novice Inspector. Best turn. We can crack our clue if we don't need to kill anything here. That's the reason to play the untapped land. Also leaving up the... Oh. Inti. Okay, so Jeskai Monument, maybe? There's an Elspeth. So far, so we currently have 2 Elspeths in the deck. I'm thinking that maybe, because we also have 4 Shikos. That's a lot of 5 drops, but Elspeth felt so good when it showed up. I'm almost thinking we wanna up the Elspeth numbers. Ooh, Tursa Late Shatter, nice. I had Tursa in this deck originally, but ended up not having room. I feel like in our deck, Kiora is probably better, because we don't really care about the aggro attack that much, but the Octopus is pretty sweet with Harmonize. Well, hit you. Pass the turn. Next turn, we can start playing good things, hopefully. Opponent. Props Eidetic Memory. Scary card. Helping Hands. Gonna get back a Tursa just for looting purposes. I mean, the big upside of Kiora is you draw and then discard, right? That is, so as far as just a looting effect, Kiora is strictly better. The upside of Tursa is it's more aggressive. Opponent gets in. Hits us down to 12. Well, all right. We have made it to the 5 drops, and I think we just got to kill this Tursa first. Get rid of this Tursa. I wish we could kill the Props Eidetic Memory. Eventually, maybe we can kill the Props Eidetic Memory, but for now, the Tursa's down. Get in, hit you. Down to 16. Oh. Sorry, that song. It's a good one from forever ago. About it. Damages are Shiko. What do they have? Multiple? All right, and a Torch the Tower. Multiple removal spells. Shiko down, which is kind of fine. We got another one in hand anyway, and it's legendary. Helping Hands gets back the Tursa Late Shadow. Only discards 1 card. Well, I mean, I think we gotta play Elspeth, because what else are we doing with our lives? Yeah, let's just kill this Tursa, I think. Hopefully our opponent does not have another... We're not going to attack, because we want to be able to block another Tursa, keep Elspeth alive. Okay, Fear missing out. I mean, as long as Elspeth lives here, they could have another Torch to the Tower. Another Fear missing out. All right, looks like Elspeth might live, though. All right, just land. Props Eidetic Memory triggers. We find Flamehold Grappler. Well, let's... Oh, actually, these FOMOs are bad for us, aren't they? Well, let's make a couple 1/1s. Play the land. Do we have to just play a Grappler for no value? I really don't want to. I think we have to. I think we just need a 3/3 first strike blocker. I mean, that's one of the upsides of Grappler is 3/3 first strike is not horrible stats. The problem here is they have double Fear missing out and Delirium activated, so they're just gonna eat through all of our tokens if we don't have more blockers. Ew, Dragonfire. Well, at least they had to tap a FOMO. Discards? Wow, a land. Okay. 5 mana, tap a creature to loot. And opponent, gonna map it up. Recommission. So that's another Tursa they can get back at worst. Gonna get in at the Elspeth. Yeah, let's make a fish. ×2. And see if we can kill this thing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, this is going to eat up a lot of our board, but that is a big fear missing out. And 2 fear missing outs are kind of scary together. Because if you have Delirium with both of them, you untap both, that's a lot of attacking. So we're going to lose basically our board, but our Elspeth is very good at building a wow, it double triggers Prophesied Memory too, the synergies. Well, Caretaker's Talent, not a bad draw. Caretaker's Talent, now we get to Elspeth, make 2 1/1s, and draw a card. Which is sadly another land. Well, okay. I feel like we're winning, just winning very slowly this game. But I feel like we're in relatively good shape, even though we're at 11. Winter Night Stories. If we get rid of this Prophesied Memory, then I feel like we're in really good shape. They just had, oh, there's an Oculus. Oh, okay. I take it back. An Oculus is coming. Maybe we're not in that good of shape. All right, that is a 6/6 Oculus, and stuff's gonna get even bigger because of Prophesied Memory. I mean, I guess we can, man, this Elspeth's so good. I know I keep saying that, but like, this is another matchup where Elspeth's been so good. Like, we played Elspeth, take down to snipe a big creature, ticked up, what, 2 or 3 times now, and now we can take down again and kill the Oculus if we don't have anything else to do. So how about it? Prophesied Memory, gonna grow the FOMO. Now let's make a couple 1/1s. Plus, it's just like powering up our fountain ports. The card's so good. The card's so good. Static abilities on Planeswalkers they're just such a game changer. How about it? I'm going to manifest with the Oculi. Oh, all right. Another Caretaker's Talent. Well, I mean, I think we have to kill the Oculus. And then, yeah, there's no way to get the Caretaker's Talent in the graveyard for the Shiko. So let's run out the Caretaker's Talent. And then we will just copy a token, draw a couple cards. And let's Surveil, mill the land. The second Shiko is not done much yet. We could have tried to wait on one of the Caretaker's Talents, but with the Elspeth down, just getting down the Caretaker Talent seems pretty good. Oh, all right. The return of the Oculus. I mean, opponent's running out of card zone, and we're not. Like, the onus is on our opponent to close out this game, because every turn that goes by, with this Elspeth and the Caretaker's Talents, the further behind, wow, wait, how bad is this? Do we die? Oh God, okay. But the further behind we fall, wait, so they can crack 3 maps, make that a 4/4. The only issue we have is we don't have a flyer here. Wait, we might be in trouble. Okay, so they could hit us to 2, or they can kill the Elspeth. Hits the Elspeth, untaps it with FOMO. Well, Elspeth down. Cannot Shiko that back into play. Well, let's Fountain Port token, draw a couple cards. We need to hit an answer here, actually, where we do die. Land and land. Yeah, these flyers. We're very good at blocking on the ground, but we need a way to deal with these flyers, so we're just going to end up dying with a lot of tokens. All right, opponent manifests. We find a Shiko. Still nothing great in the graveyard for Shiko, although it is a flyer. Let's Novice Inspector to draw with the Caretaker's Talents. Come on, deck. Okay, removal and 3 blind mice. Well, let's, I guess, Glacial Dragon Hunt. Hit the Oculus. Shiko. Glacial Dragon Hunt. The Oculus. Discard a 3 blind mice. I mean, this might... I guess it partly depends on the manifest. This might keep us alive, though. Well, we will pass the turn. This might be enough. Hopefully they don't have another... Okay, another Prophesied Memory. Legend Rules draws. I mean, we have another Shiko, so we can definitely jump with the Shiko. And now we do have the 3 blind mice in the graveyard. So we can start the loop. It's just... It's a little bit slow if we're about to die. Opponent gonna keep a FOMO on top. Ooh, Inti 2. Okay. Thankfully, they don't have a card in hand at the moment, so they can't actually trample this turn. Untaps the big Spyglass Siren. Well, chump and chump. So we're going to take 6 down to 3. Oh, this is so close. Oh, they get another one. We're going to take 7 down to 2. Oh, man. What do we need? Fear of missing out. I mean, we get to draw a couple cards at some point. Let's take up the Caretaker's talent. Draw a couple cards. See if we can find some removal. Yeah, we'll copy a 1/1. Draw 2, FOMO, and Novice Inspector. The Shiko doesn't do it, right? Why did they not attack that turn? They're too afraid of dying? It is kind of weird that they didn't get in for 7 and we're still at 9. Well, let's FOMO away the Novice Inspector. Surveil land. Well, let's Surveil. Kiora on top. Yeah, I think we mill it. Kiora's good, but it doesn't interact here. Well, Fear of missing out number 2. Loot away a land and... Ooh, an Elspeth. Okay. Oh, actually, wait. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, this is insane. Elspeth 0, so good here. Wow, remember earlier when I said Elspeth 0, it lasts until your next turn, and sometimes that's relevant? Well, this is the exact scenario where that's relevant. Now all of our random 1/1 ground creatures are 2/2 flyers, found at Steam Core Scholar, and now we don't really have to worry so much about dying. Like, yes, Inti is still a little concerned that they can trample something up, but I think that this should be enough to keep us alive, and then hopefully Elspeth just takes over the game. So props Eidetic Memory. So opponent can grow one thing really big and get 2 attacks with it thanks to Fear of missing out. Okay, instead they're going to make another thing sort of big. Swing with the Crew. FOMO triggers. I think we're good though. I think we survive this. Opponent untaps the Manifest. Discards. Tramples up the Fear of missing out. Well, okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 on you. And then block, 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 block. All right, so I think we take 0, and we get rid of the Fear of missing out, and we get rid of the thing that can attack again. I don't know if we're gonna have enough damage left over to win this turn. Actually, we do have 2 Fear of missing outs. Maybe we will. Props Eidetic Memory triggers. The double triggering Props Eidetic Memory with Fear of missing out is actually super, super cute. So let's Caretaker's Talent. Copy a token. I mean, I think we just do the same thing, which is make as much of a board as we can, and then Elspeth to give everything flying. Ooh, okay, we finally found a removal, which is nice. Let's Glacial Dragon Hunt. Discard a Caretaker's Talent. Get rid of the FOMO. I guess we can Shiko. This does tap us out of our removal, but I think it's fine. Actually, you know what? It's probably safer to leave it up. Let's play another FOMO. I don't think this game's gonna come down to a loop. Like, I think we're just gonna win with the Elspeth. I don't even think we need the token Caretaker's Talent shenanigans. All right, 0 them. Give them flying. Wait, do we just win right now? We also have 2 Fear of missing outs. You know what? I'm sorry, opponent. That was not BM. I just didn't do the math. But we have 2 Fear of missing outs, so I think we actually just win. Oh, we don't even need the extra attack steps. Okay, we easily just win right now. Elspeth's absurd. Elspeth's absurd. Wow, we were dead. We were dead to rights dead that game. The Elspeth coming down to give everything flying won us the game. Won us the game. Straight up won us the game. And that was the second Elspeth. The first one kept us in the game. Man, Elspeth's so good. I feel like people are going to realize that Elspeth is actually a game changer. Like, it really is such an absurdly good card. Part of the problem is, like, Anointed Procession, right? It doesn't do anything. You're taking your turn off to put this effect on the bat. It's like a Panharmonicon. The hardest aspect of Panharmonicon is you have to find a way to spend 4 mana for a card that doesn't do anything right away for a future reward. Not easy. Anointed Procession kind of has that same problem. Yeah, let's try it like that. Anointed Procession kind of has that same problem. Elspeth kind of solves that problem, right? Remember when, like, Elishnorn might be a great example. Then you get a Panharmonicon that's this huge butted creature that also hurts your opponent. That's what Elspeth is to to Anointed Procession. Yeah, it's one more mana, but the fact it comes on a Planeswalker that comes down and kills something or makes 2 1/1s right away makes it so much easier to put in your decks than in 60 card formats. In Commander, it's a little different, I think, but in 60 card formats, it makes it so much easier to put in your deck. Bound it, land. Well, let's see if we can close this out. This hand is actually pretty good. Spyglass Siren for our opponent. Well, let's Battlefield Fjorge, and I think we just FOMO here. Probably loot away. Let's loot away the Caretaker's Talent to set up for our Shiko shenanigans. It's kind of tricky because we also have Grappler, so we could... Shiko's just faster, though. Like, Grappler, it's 6 total mana if we want to play it into Caretaker's Talent. Shiko, we can get the Caretaker's Talent for 1 less mana. Found it. Gonna reanimate a Steam Core Scholar. Draw a couple magic cards. We do need 1 more land, but we have a clue that we can crack. Found it. Glacial Dragon Hunt. Pretty sure I've been calling that Glacial Dragon Fire. But I guess you're hunting... The dragon's hunting you? Is that the flavor? Opponent. Map crack. On the Siren. Now down to 19. Ooh, Caretaker's Talent's good. Caretaker's Talent's actually better than cracking the clue. Copying the clue better than cracking the clue here. So talent, clue, draw, even more talents. I guess we get him for 1 since we can't block flyers anyway. Opponent, Props Eidetic Memory. All right, gets and hits us. Down to 15. Well, there's a land. It's a little tapped, but it is a land. Be nice if we can snipe this Steam Core Scholar before it gets too big. The other stuff we can deal with... All right. I was going to say we could deal with the temporary lockdown. I am a little nervous. Like, I'm just never comfortable once there's a Props Eidetic Memory out. Because if our opponent draws a bunch of cards, like, you can count up the damage on the battlefield, but that's not necessarily relevant when there's a Props Eidetic Memory. Because there could be a lot of damage coming from out of the blue. Do a little looting. Discards a land. Our opponent is much more willing to discard lands with Glacial Dragon Hunt than I am. Ugh. It hurts so much. When it's pays 6 to loot, it feels... Ooh, Ghost Vacuum. All right, Ghost Vacuum I like for the future. Sadly, the Steam Core Scholar getting too big for Glacial Dragon hunting. Well, let's archive. Mill the FOMO. Still nothing... Well, how do we want to do this? Yeah, let's do the Shiko. The Shikoing. Get the Caretaker's Talent. Draw a card. The only downside of the Caretaker's Talent loop, and why... Ooh, okay. Pass the turn. Fountain Port's good for the future. The only downside of this loop is if you make too many Caretaker's Talents, you could mill yourself out. Keep that in mind. Caretaker's Talent's not a May. So if we untap and we're just like, copy Caretaker's Talent, copy Caretaker's Talent, copy Caretaker's Talent, it is possible that we play a Novus Inspector and just like mill ourselves out of the game. So keep that in mind. It's not a May ability. I'm like, and really, like, how many, I know this sounds like heresy, but we're going to black with the Shiko since we got another one. It sounds like heresy, but how many do you really need? Like, once you have like 4 or 5 and you're drawing 4 or 5 extra cards each turn, do you really need the 6th one? I know it sounds wrong for me to be saying that because I love winning more, but all right, we're going to Caretaker's Talent, our Caretaker's Talent. Draw 3 cards. It's so busted. It's so good. The infinite value loop of a token Caretaker's Talent. Unfortunately, we didn't draw very good cards, and we are at 11. Like, there is risk of death. I was kind of hoping to hit a removal spell. How do we want to do this? I guess we can Grappler into double Dragonfire. We can temporary lockdown, get everything except the Scholar. This also gets rid of the Props Eidetic Memory, so it means we're unlikely to lose this turn. And not losing is the first step towards winning. Let's fear missing out. You can't win if you lose. Tune in next week for more words of magic wisdom. Fountain Port. And let's play a Ghost Vacuum, just in case they try to do some reanimation shenanigans. Gonna do a little surveilling. And Inti. All right. How do we get rid of the board? Actually, we might be able to do it with Dragonfires. All right, opponent, gonna discard. Finds a land, hits us, down to 5. Well, this would be a good turn to deal with a Steam Core Scholar, I say. Might as well exile. I guess we just get a Spyglass Iron. Doesn't really matter. We can play Grappler. Glacial Dragonfire twice to kill Steam Core. Flash it back to kill Inti. This is going to require us drawing a non-land at some point, and it might require us discarding things we don't want to discard like Shiko, but we gotta try to kill this or we're gonna die. Well, Glacial Dragonfire, Dragon Hunt rather. Discard a Caretaker. We don't really need more Caretaker's talents. We have plenty of those, so kill the Steam Core or hit the Steam Core Scholar. Number 2, discard the Caretaker's talent, hit the Steam Core Scholar, and then we can play the land and harmonize back Dragon Hunt. Oh, these pain lands. I guess we might just be killing. Oh, another. That's an Elspeth, though. We'll discard the Shiko. I'd rather have the Elspeth here. Kill the Inti. All right, the board has been dealt with. I don't think we well, we can attack once, I guess. We can attack and untap. I'm just worried about like a hasty. We saw Tursa or whatever. We don't want to die to some haste threat off the top. Because next turn we can gum up the board with Elspeth, and Elspeth, if our opponent doesn't do something big, it might be enough. Opponent passing. Well, let's vacuum up a Inti. I think it's Elspeth time. Elspeth? With 3 Caretaker's talents, pretty good. Make a couple tokens, draw a few cards. Well, let's get in with both. Untap the Grappler, hit you down to 10. I mean, we're kind of like 2 turns away, right, from winning in theory. We're gonna stay on defense. We're gonna play a conservative. I don't want to lose to some haste random nonsense. Mill the Seagrum Coast. Pass turn. All right, opponent. It's on you. We are presenting lethal thanks to Elspeth. Well, I mean, there's one takeaway. Well, there's probably a bunch of takeaways from this deck because, oh man, this deck's so cool. And Shiko's cool. And the token synergies are so cool. But if you only want to take one thing away from this deck, I think the takeaway is, my God, is Elspeth a magic card? Oh my God. We thought it was during spoiler season, and it is backing it up on the battlefield. Pound at Pyroclasms. Kills a couple tokens. Well, let's keep on vacuuming. I guess we'll vacuum a Shiko in case we actually activate the Ghost Vacuum. Pound it, passes, Manifest Dread. If we hit removal, we win, right? We just send everything to there and win. 3 Blind Buys. Well, let's Kiora. I mean, I guess we can. Hell no. Yeah, we need removal that can kill the Oculi. Well, Kiora. Draw a couple cards. Ooh, Shiko. Okay. Let's Elspeth kill the Oculi. I wanted to 0 Elspeth, but I think this is fine. So we can play the Shiko. Flashback Glacial Dragon Hunt. Kill the face down creature. Oh, and a destroyable too as a bonus. Well, get rid of the 3 Blind Mice. Kill the Manifest. And then we can hit our opponent for 8. Well, hit you. Down to 7. Oh, wait, we don't have, yeah. We don't actually have our FOMO on anymore. So we don't hit for 8. We hit for 5. Found it. Gonna draw some cards. Winter Night Stories. Wow, that was a really long, interesting, close game. But in the end, Shiko Power, man, I think Shiko might be legit. And I'm becoming more and more convinced that Elspeth is super legit. And there's the GGs. And, well, that is the power of Shiko and Elspeth and 3 Blind Mice. I love this deck. Boy, do I love this deck. So what do we learn this week about Chess Guy tokens in Standard? And record-wise, we went 7-5 with the deck. Good for a 58% match win percentage, so definitely a solid record. Most importantly, the deck is just so cool. It's such a cool deck. I absolutely love this deck. our plan worked almost exactly the way that we wanted it to. The idea of getting a Caretaker's Talent or 3 Blind Mice in the graveyard for Shiko and getting it back, you saw some of those games where we just made so many tokens, had so many copies running around. Honestly, before I started recording, when I was brewing this deck and testing it, I actually had a game where I popped off so hard with Caretaker's Talent, I ended up with like 8 of them on the battlefield, and I died to milling myself out. So you gotta be careful. The deck is almost too powerful for its own good sometimes. But I gotta say, the plan worked really well. It's got a reasonable curve. It plays pretty smoothly. The new cards were super impressive. Shiko, I love. Glacial Dragon Hunt. Glacial Dragon Hunt's kind of weird. It is worth playing in the deck, although the fact that you gotta discard a land to get the damage can sometimes lead to some awkwardness. Flamehold Grappler, I actually think is kind of underrated, to the point where I kind of want to be playing more of them, but I'm not sure exactly how to make them fit. When I first looked at it, I was like, okay, it's more expensive than Shiko. Shiko, we just play for 5 mana, get a token copy of our thing. Flamehold Grappler, we need 6 mana. We need 3 for Grappler, 3 more for the 3 Blind Mice or the Caretaker's Talent. But it turns out that was actually kind of easy to get to 6 mana, so I think it might actually be better than I gave it credit for. But the biggest takeaway here, oh my god, is Elspeth a busted Magic card? Oh my goodness. So we'll have to wait and see what things look like. Yes, we're in a standard with mice, where your opponent might be able to just double strike a mice and Monstrous Rage and kill you. That's a thing. There's cards that can kill Elspeth, but I came away from this feeling like Elspeth is one of the strongest standard planeswalkers that we have seen in a long time. If you look back on our games, I'm pretty sure if we drew Elspeth, we won, like pretty much every single time. It turns out that making 2 1/1s with a +1 is absurd thanks to the static ability. The 0 ability was as good as advertised. We had multiple wins where we just won because we were able to like plus our team, give it flying, and we also got to see that be really key on defense. We had that game against Jeskai Oculus where it looked like we were about to lose because our opponent had these big flyers and we had a ton of creatures, but they were on the ground. But we managed to find an Elspeth, give everything flying, and then our opponent just couldn't do anything from there. So I think that Elspeth might actually just be the truth. I think that Elspeth might actually just be a legitimately busted standard planeswalker. And the more I think about it, the more I like this card. When I first read it, I was like, well, okay, it's got a super sweet static, right? It's like an anointed procession, but on a planeswalker. But maybe being on a planeswalker is a downside. It's like an anointed procession, but your opponent can attack it, which is kind of awkward. But then the more I played with it and the more I thought about it, the more I realized this is a huge upside. Like, yes, it is annoying that your anointed procession can be attacked down by your opponent's creatures, but the upside is this is an anointed procession that does things when you play it. The biggest problem with anointed procession is the Panharmonicon problem, which is, sure, it's busted if you can get it on the battlefield and untap with it, but can you really afford to pay 4 mana and take a turn off to play a card that doesn't do anything right away? And a lot of times the answer is no, but Elspeth solves this because it's essentially an anointed procession, but it can kill something the turn you play it, or it can make 2 1/1s to block the turn you play it. So it's like an anointed procession that does things right away. So even though it's maybe not quite as resilient as a doubling season or as anointed procession, the fact that you're not taking a turn off to play it makes this way more powerful than the previous versions of the effect. So I gotta say, I love this deck. I find it super fun to play. It does hilarious things. It plays a bunch of really cool new cards. So if you're looking for something different to do in standard, try making a bunch of 3 Blind Mice. It's actually super, super fun. So that's Jeskai tokens. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.